Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do a look using products I haven't used in a while. Now this is like nearly every single item on my face except the lashes, and you know what, I was so proud to film this introduction because I nearly left to go to the gym. You kind of see my gym right here. I was about to like rip my lashes off. Like, I don't care about wearing the rest of my makeup in the gym, but I'm not wearing lashes, that's a bit excessive. I nearly did that and forgot to film the intro. Like, that wouldn't have been good. But anyway, I will link the rest of the products I use down below. I'm really happy with how the look turned out. It feels like the eyes are kind of a classic old school look that I would have done. Like, they're really simple and easy to do. And I really enjoyed a lot of these products. Some of these were like a surprise. I didn't remember liking some of these products as much as I did. And some of them, there's like a reason I haven't used them in a while, like I didn't like them. But you guys will see as you watch the video. But if you're interested in getting this look, then please keep on watching. And if you like this kind of video, or just this video as you watch it, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you press that notification bell, then you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So we're feeling Christmassy today. When this goes up, it's December, so I thought I'd put like a Christmassy top on. There might be a couple of like Christmassy decorations in the background, but I'm not organised enough to have sorted that out yet. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go for my eyes first, because I am actually going to do liner. When I do liner, I always do my eyes first, because I can then like correct and not ruin everything going on here. So I haven't reached for this eye primer in a while because I think I remember not liking it. I don't remember if it either did nothing or made my made my eye product like crease. So we're gonna give it another go today. This is the Revolution Aqua Seal Liquid Eye Primer. So I'm just gonna put a couple of drops on and just, it kind of feels like a bit like an oil. It does feel very slick. And you can kind of see my eyelid does look much more shiny now. If you've got like a super dry eyelid, maybe this would work. But I have like regular eyelids. I'm kind of fairly lucky. They're not super dry. I have quite a dry brow bone moment going on as per. However, I don't have dry eyelids, which I'm fairly lucky with, but I also don't have oily eyelids, so I don't tend to need to mattify them either. So eye-wise, I have quite a lot of stuff that I just don't reach for. I have some of my like individual pigments. So I have this e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow in rose gold. I have this Revolution kind of eye pot. It's like a cream eyeshadow in Rebound. I have this Colour Tattoo 24-hour eyeshadow by Maybelline in On and On Bronze. So I think we're going to see what look we create as to which we use, if we use any. I also have two eyeshadow palettes that I don't think I've reached for in ages. So this is Morphe 15N Night Master palette, and this is the original Sofx Revolution palette. I kind of use the extra spice one a little bit more. I think, especially on camera, you want like shade names, and I have lost the sheet for this one. So this is the eyeshadow palette that doesn't come with any shade names. It's dirty and used. Like, when I initially had this, I like proper loved it, and I do still love it. It's just not something I like reach for. The 15N was also kind of the same thing. This one does have shade names on it, but I kind of love this thing to death. And I still do love it, but it's just not something I've been reaching for. I think I'm going to go a little more basic. I think I'm going to use the Morphe palette. I think I kind of want to do like a more autumnal look, even though it's not autumn. So initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Morphe R39, dip into the shade Selfie, and then just fluff that out in the crease. This is the thing I like about like eyeshadow palettes with mirrors. I feel like you can get like a bit closer up, and if you have bad eyesight, you kind of need that, rather than like, for me filming, my mirror is quite big and it would come like in front of the camera. If I had my mirror across here, you would literally see only the mirror and not me. So it's good that I can kind of use these, because I have bad eyesight. There's not a chance I'm going to be able to do my eyeshadow from the distance that my mirror kind of has to be at. Also, if you're travelling, like, it's a great feature. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Morphe M433 and dip into the shade underneath it, Goals, and I am just going to deepen up the crease just a little bit. This is like the look that I used to love doing with this palette. Like, these were some of my most used shades, and just like fluffing these out just like brings me back. I think this was one of the first palettes I got where I thought, this is like good eyeshadow. This is what it should be like. And now we're going to be like using one of the newer techniques that I've like found out about. I did not originate this technique. This isn't me saying that I did. So I'm going to take the shade Next to Goals Editorial, this deep brown, and I am just going to be placing it in the crease, just dotting it like so. Like, I have quite deep set eyes in terms of like here. Like, I can see where the brown's going, but it's also quite difficult for you guys to see. If I do that, it kind of looks a little bit patchy, but it's not blended yet, so it's going to. And you can just build up colour really nicely this way, place it exactly where you want it. And then I'm going to take the same Morphe M433, make sure there is no leftover product on this brush, and then just, this kind of keeps the colour a bit more precise. I'm not masking any of the colours that I've already placed down, and it just definitely gives a lot more depth in that area. Not that I need loads of depth in that area. So I just did more blending, and I did more blending on like each side, and this has become a bit of a mess. This one's the one we're gonna say went well. So I'm gonna swatch each of these like individual pots, and we're gonna see which I prefer. So this is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio eyeshadow in Back to Bronze. Oh, that was a really bad swatch, but never ever do it with this finger. That's a pretty colour. So this is the Revolution shadow in Rebound. So this is definitely more like jelly. Do you know what I'm saying? That is really pretty. I feel like the rose gold elf one is going to be quite similar to that. So I am just going to go over it like and smooth it out. I don't know. I'm thinking the Revolution one. So this is my incredibly stained, it really does need a wash, number 7 eye colour brush. So I'm only picking up a little bit at a time and building, because with these kind of cream shadows, it can get bumpy and messy really quickly. And because it's a cream, it's not like you need a spray or anything. Like that, what I've got on so far is beautiful. Now I'm getting it in my mascara. Well done, Jess. So this colour is just so pretty. I do think it needs a little neaten up, which I'm going to do, even up my eyes. And then I think I'm going to go in and do a wing today. So I'm going to use the Miss Sporty Studio Lash, the Meow eyeliner. And I haven't used this in ages, so there's a good chance it could be dry. So the eyeliner's alright. It's not the blackest eyeliner ever. It didn't really fully cover the glitter. And like, I found it easy enough to get the wing, but like to straighten it out on this edge I found particularly difficult. And I'm fully aware that they're not even. My eyes aren't even enough to make them ever look even. However, I think it turned out okay. I just think it doesn't cover the glitter enough for my personal tastes. So I think we are going to put some eyelashes on today. I'll see how I feel. I think these are the lashes that I always go for, so I don't know if this fully counts. I think we're going to go for the Eye Lot Accent number 5s. So, as if I'm showing you the eyelashes, this is the freaking glue. So you'll see them on. They're like half lashes that just kind of flick out at the ends to give you a bit more of a cat-eye look. So I think we're going to go for mascara next. So the mascara I have is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Bang. I did vote this the best out of all of the Benefit mascaras. However, this is really wet and this transfers like mad. So I haven't actually been using it a whole ton. I think it's better though than the... So yeah, I think my new ranking is Roller Lash, Bad Gal, and then They're Real. They're Real just does nothing for me. This is lovely, you just need to be so careful for it not to transfer everywhere. I do kind of like doing it looking down. I feel like there's less of a chance of me transferring up here because there's a lot more of a distance for it to go. So I'm going to even it up and then put the false lashes on, and then I'll be back to do the rest of the face. So we've got the lashes on, and now we're going to go in with foundation. And I have a lot of foundations that I don't like always reach for. This is the Body Shop Fresh Nude Foundation in Chelsea Porcelain. This foundation isn't one that I've like not reached for any kind of particular reason. I don't think it was like my favourite one I saw at the time, but I feel like I have better skills in terms of like working with products now. Like I can make most look okay. So, and this is quite a glowy one, and that's what I kind of like for the winter. I am just going to use my sponge today. I tend to use a sponge for like most foundations, to be honest. I'm looking so glowy and I'm not used to it. I'm actually loving it. I'm definitely going to need some more for my forehead, but I'm looking so glowy. I'm not used to it. I never look this glowy. I'm definitely normally into the matte foundations, but I think I'm going to be reaching for this again now it's the winter. I mean, I do always have to like set the cheeks, but I'm also just going to add a little bit more product while I have it on my finger. The more I'm working with this foundation, the more I'm absolutely loving it. Like, look at that glow. That is so pretty. You can see it's too dark, don't get me wrong, but you can always mix a little whitener in. But now we're going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This isn't a concealer that I use very often. I haven't reached for it in quite a while. I'm not sure that this is going to be like light enough. It is quite yellow, especially for the under eyes. I mean, it's going to be fine over my spots and blemishes. So I did prepare for this. Now this one I actually do use regularly, but I got a new shade of it. This is Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. This, however, is the shade 0.5, and it has a bit more of a pink undertone. So I'm thinking by mixing these, it's going to be a bit more neutral. Like, look, that just looks so bright and lovely under there. Because I'm mixed, I've definitely not got the coverage that I normally get with the Maybelline Fit Me. Like, the Revolution one is so much more full coverage than that one. Like, you can see, like, that coverage is, like, full. Honestly, like, I'm looking so glowy and I'm loving the coverage of this. But I'm obviously going to have to set, like, my under eyes and my cheeks if I'm going to be able to, like, blend any products on top. Oh, wait. I'm actually going to go in with some more liquids before I set. Now, I'm not going to set my concealer yet, which is a dangerous move, but I have liquid, like, coming here that I do not want to be setting. So I have the Revolution liquid highlighter. I don't really reach for liquid highlighter, and I think I tested this maybe like one time in my testing Revolution video, so I'm going to need to use this again. So I am just going to take a couple of drops, like this is bright, and I'm just going to dot it. Like, it has like a little bit of a reflect, like, but I don't love it. Like, I expect it to be blinding. Like, if I'm going to use a liquid highlighter, I want it to be blinding. But to me, this just adds a little bit of a glow. I feel like it's a lot more natural. I could always build it up and see. So I've taken a bit more on the end of the sponge. I'm aware Revolution, I don't know if it's a Revolution Pro line or something like that. I've come out with these like jelly highlighters, you know, kind of like, is it Versailles or whatever? I know what I mean. You know the gold jelly highlighter that was like all the rage? That one. It's kind of like that one. They have a gold, is it a gold, rose gold, silver, something like that going on? Oh, it kind of looks nice. I'm much more of a powder highlight kind of person. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to set my under eyes, set my cheeks. I have the Revolution Pro powder. This is in translucent, but it basically has this like white cast. I am just going to set my cheeks first and foremost. I think this is good if you wear a foundation that's too dark for you. However, it is going to be a flashback Mary moment, so if you're taking flash photography, do just be aware of that because it has a white cast. So for contour, I'm definitely going to use something I haven't used in forever. This is the e.l.f. eyebrow kit in light medium. I have not used this in months, definitely not. So I'm just going to take my Real Techniques under eye setting brush and we're just going to try and contour with this. It's been a while since I kind of used this contour pan, so I don't kind of remember how it performs. There's got to have been a reason I stopped using it. This is definitely something you really have to build up to get a good amount of colour. I also think if you're not careful, it can go patchy. And I think buildability is something that I definitely struggle with. I kind of want intense colour right then, but then I'm also known for having to then sort it out after with a bit of powder just to smooth the entire area out. Yeah, this to me looks a little bit patchy, which is why I'm not like 100% sold on this. See, contour always goes far better on one side than the other. This is like a mess. This is patchy, it's definitely too thick. I am going to have to clean that up. This one looks far freaking better and I don't know how I achieve this. Like, this definitely still looks patchy, don't get me wrong, and that's to do with the product. So I even got my contour using the Bleach London Contour Nude Contour Pan in Bones 4. I find that a little bit orange actually for a contour, so mixing them together has kind of worked out okay. I also carved it out a little bit under here to prevent it becoming this kind of big blurred muddy mess that it often becomes and probably is anyway. So next we're going to go on to blush. Now this blush, I use the bronzer more than I do the blush, and I'm not sure why, because this is a beautiful blush. I've just not been reaching for it lately. This is L'Oreal Life's a Peach blush, and I do just like the tone is just so nice and natural, but I feel like it's quite a summery colour in that way. Like, it's just like, look at that, it is really pretty. Now I do have another Revolution product actually as my highlighter. This is the Makeup Revolution Skin Kiss highlighter in Ice Kiss. I think I don't use this one a lot just because, well, I don't know, I think it's quite glittery. I think that might be why, and I mean it really suits some skin tones. Like, I have a friend, I bought her one because it just looked so beautiful on her skin tone when I did her makeup. Like, I feel like it's adding more, like this is why I love powder highlighters. Like, you can see it is pretty, but it isn't like my favourite. I definitely feel like it's got to be very well built, very well like blended. You can't just put it on and it looks fantastic. This one requires quite a bit of work. So next we're going to do the eyebrows, and I'm using my Revolution Pro brow pomade. I don't find this as waxy as the L'Oreal one, but I just use my brow powders mostly at the moment. I went through a phase of loving this. It's a little bit dark. This is in Ebony. This is definitely too dark for me. My sister always calls me out, "Just do your eyebrows too dark." Thanks, Mol. Appreciate that. So I am just going to quickly do this off camera. I say it quickly, it takes me forever, which is why I'm doing it off camera. So brows are on. I've highlighted my brow bone and inner corner, and next I thought we'd do lips actually. It's going to be a little bit of an odd way around, but I'm having fun, so that's what matters. So I'm going to go in with my NYX Lip Suede Lip Pencil in Alabama. 99% sure I haven't used this a right lot. Like, this isn't like ever been sharpened, and clearly it needs a sharpen. But can I find my sharpener? No. So we're going to do our best here. I always like to fill my lips in when using a lip liner, and then like I'll put like a liquid lipstick on top, or like just a regular lipstick. Now, I don't find this is very soft. I feel like this is quite stiff, so I do feel like I tug quite a bit on my lips when I use this. So I'm not the most proficient in the world with lip liners, but that's the best I've got. So this is the Makeup Revolution lipstick that I tried in my testing Makeup Revolution video. So this is in the shade Absolutely Flawless. So I know this is quite a creamy lipstick, so I am just going to go over like all of my lip liner and we'll see how it looks at the end. It could be an absolute mess. Who knows? It is fairly pale to say this is quite like a red lip liner. But like, look at the colour that is producing. It is such a pretty colour. I remember when I tested this lipstick the first time round, I was like, I think I needed to get the top layer off because it was sheer, it was just nasty, it just didn't work very well. But I'm happy with like the colour I'm getting on my bottom lip now, like it's so pretty. Now I'm not 100% that this lipstick goes with this look, but I really like it actually. It is so nice. And it's kind of like a way of using your lipstick and keeping it matte actually, because it is quite a matte lip, but it does feel moisturising because it has that like stick element to it. I'm now going to add a little bit of colour to my lower lash line, which I know is what we've all been waiting for. So I am just going to go in first with this eye pencil. This is the Kiko Milano Intense Colour Long Lasting Eyeliner in white. I use this a lot to kind of open my lash line up. You definitely have to go over this like a couple of times to get that white to show up, but it is such a pretty colour and I do find like it lasts. It's just not something I use. I don't find I'm going for like super intense eye looks on the regular. You know, on my days where I used to just sit here and film my little foundation reviews, like it's been a while since I filmed one. I could just sit and play with makeup all day, and being able to sit today and do that has been so relaxing for me. Like it's something that I forgot chilled me out as much as it does. So I am just going to take my e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush, which I absolutely love for the under eyes because it's compact but it's like blown out, so I can just fluff loads of colour on my lower lash line. I think I'm going to take Selfie again, the one that I just used in my crease, and just fluff this colour all the way along my lower lash line. Now, although I really like it, I think I'm just going to add a little bit of gold, just keeping it tight just under here to about here. I don't feel like I need a lot of it, but I feel like it just like adds a little bit of that brown that I absolutely love. So if you can see, I'm just keeping it nice and tight just here. Just picking up slight bits and just adding, blending, blending, blending. I am then actually going to set my face with, like, I don't have any more of my setting spray. Like, there isn't a setting spray that I kind of have that I don't reach for, to be honest. Like, I don't find that this is like a setting spray. I find that this is more of like a skincare primer moment. So I'm going to use one I don't use as often. I think that's fair. So I'm going to use my I Heart Revolution Fixing Spray in Vanilla and Coconut. This is a super strong scent. This is like perfume level. So you do not need to put perfume on with this, I swear to God. So if you are really sensitive to smells, just be aware that this is so, so strong. And if you want, this is a trick that I actually tend to do. Like, if I feel like my highlighter's not enough, like I'm actually liking it, it looks almost natural for me today. I tend to, when my setting spray is still wet, just add a bit more highlight. Like, I'm sure it was a James Charles trick to begin with, to be honest. That's who I'm crediting anyway. And it just brightens that highlight, just makes it stick and just makes it even more intense and glowy. I'm going to pop on my Lower Lash mascara and we'll be right back to discuss the products I've used. So this is the finished look and I'm actually loving it. Like, a few of the products were like a surprise hit to me. Some of them I knew would work. Like, I remember I liked them, I just hadn't picked them up in a while because I was trying new things. Some of them, like, I just didn't like, and I think I'm going to go for like the surprise hits and the misses. So another surprise hit to me was that foundation. Like, the Body Shop foundation, like, I forget how pretty it can look on my skin tone. Like, how long it lasts is a different kettle of fish. I don't remember like how long it lasts, but it looks so glowy and it's just so pretty. So the drops were pretty good, like, once you built them up. They were less glittery than I remember. I remember it being like a bit of a glittery mess personally, but I think they worked really well. And then with the powder highlighter on top, it just kicked it up a notch. I think what I disliked the most was probably the e.l.f. contour pan. I found it really patchy on my skin and I still think it looks a little bit patchy now. I haven't bronzed or anything, so it hasn't like blended it together to mask it or anything like that. I just don't think it looks fantastic. I feel like that eyeliner could have done a better job at covering up the glitter. I feel like an eyeliner should cover glitter. Most of us use like a sparkly eyeshadow or some kind of glitter in our looks these days, and I feel like an eyeliner needs to do that. I mean, I feel like it has a nice fine tip, but I don't feel like that's enough. I definitely had to like close it, give it another shake and keep going. I feel like it needs more pigment. I don't feel like it's pigmented enough. Otherwise, I think everything kind of went pretty well. I am generally happy with how the look came out. And I hope you guys try some of these products again, or at least reach into the back of your drawers for makeup you haven't touched in like years and see what you guys like, especially around Christmas time. Like, a lot of us are saying, oh, I could do with this or I could do with that. Maybe instead save up for something special. So reach into the back of your drawer, try out products you haven't tried in a while, and then you could put the money aside that perhaps you'd spend on makeup instead and save up for something special. Either that, or if there's a product you're interested in that I've shown you, I will link it down below. You can either wait till the Boxing Day sales, which is what I'm doing for a lot of stuff, go for it, or you can ask for it for Christmas. But otherwise, I am so happy with this look and I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching me create it. So if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you press that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.